Hey everybody, welcome back once again to the RetroGameFix.com Retro Jones podcast number 105.
Wait. What was that last number?
5.
Like
right?
5 Super Bowl rings?
Holy crap. Oh my god. Anyway, this is your host, Mitch.
This is Mike.
So here we are. Of course, we totally have to talk about it. We just got done watching the Super Bowl. And if we're going to be honest with ourselves, Mike, we totally introed this already an hour and 19 minutes ago. Because we totally were just like, oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, we were like, this is a shit show, and we should probably go podcast.
It was 28-3.
And then all of a sudden you were like, hey, it's no longer a shit show. We should probably go watch what might be one of the greatest Super Bowls ever. So we paused. Now we're back.
Literally probably about a half an hour into the podcast, I was like, I text you on Skype. I'm like, Patriots are coming back. And you're like, do we pause? And I was like, yes, pause. Because it was like 20-28, and the Patriots were like on the Falcons 24 or something. I was like, dude, we got to watch this. It's turned into a really, really interesting Super Bowl. And look, man, to be honest, we don't have a horse in the race either way, but a good game is a good game. So, anyway, my heart goes out to all my Falcons people around here.
I live in Atlanta.
I live in Atlanta, so I know all my friends around here are Falcons fans. So, man, I really do feel bad for them, but what an amazing comeback by the Patriots too.
Yeah, it's we were talking about it right before we got back on here, and it's a very Vikings way to lose a Super Bowl.
That's what it was. That's what I saw it, because as soon as they went into overtime, I was like, Patriots are going to win this. It's the Patriots. Like I said, Tom Brady has been in nearly a regular season of Super Bowls, which is insane. It's totally not fair, but I'm not going to hate on it. But yeah, I was like, the excruciating fashion in which the Falcons lost. Totally, I was like, this is Vikings-esque. It totally is Vikings-esque. And look, you've lost 2 of them now. We've lost twice as many. So we have been. It's worse than getting kicked in the nuts. And I brought the example of the championship game of 2009, the NFC Championship game. When we got to the whole game, I was like, the whole season, I was like, I'm not going to believe in these Vikings because I know exactly what's going to happen. I'm not going to get my hopes up. I shit you not. We were at the 50. We had a 50-yard field goal queued up, and Longwell could have easily kicked that. And because we were in a dome as well, and I was like, we were lining up to kick the field goal, and I was like, we're going to the Super Bowl. I can't believe it. And no shit, a 12 men in the huddle penalty moves us back out of field goal range, and then Favre ends up throwing an interception like on the next play. And then we went into overtime, and the rest is history. The Saints won the Super Bowl. So, look, Falcons fans out there, I understand your pain. It sucks. It really sucks. But it was just monumental. It really was.
It was. And let's put to bed. Let's put to bed. No, I do. I feel the pain. I just want to.
I'm really talking to Atlanta fans out there too.
Oh yeah. No, I just want to say I feel their pain as well. But also, what I want to do is let's put to bed the conversations about the best quarterback ever.
And look, I'll say this on that as well. If it were Aaron Rodgers or Brett Favre, like, look, everybody in the AFC East, I understand. You're everybody else in the AFC East, yeah, I understand your point of view on this. But like Mike said, you really have to put that to bed. He's the most clutch quarterback of all time. We knew that 2 years. We know that 10 years ago.
5 of them. Count them. 5. Anyway, before we get into the podcast, the only other thing, they gotta stop making every little piece of the Super Bowl production. It goes in the overtime, and they're like, whoa, how much fucking more money can we make?
And look, in our original intro, I got on my high horse about this, and this is a topic I'm very passionate about, and I'm so sorry for those people that don't give a shit about sports, It's all good. We'll get to retro gaming in a minute, but this is worth talking about. The NFL, like, I love football. Like, how long have you been a football fan, Mike?
It's since I can remember watching TV.
Right. And I mean, I've been a football fan for decades now. Not as long as you, but for decades, right? So I love football. It's my favorite sport, definitely. But I am getting sick and tired of the NFL, and I'm getting really sick and tired of the Super Bowl. I've been tired of the Super Bowl for forever, and God forbid it. If we ever got to the Super Bowl, hell would have frozen over, and we'd all be dead. But the Super Bowl drives me crazy, man. I can't. They wheeled George Bush out there, like senior out there, and it took like a freaking hour to get him out to the coin toss, and then he tossed the coin and stuff like that. It's just like, dudes, toss the coin. Stop trying to pull everybody on everybody's heartstrings and everything like that.
And somehow they made it even take longer to walk the Super Bowl to the podium. Like, God damn it, just no one cares.
Well, yeah. They were like, here's the they're like moving the Lombardi trophy through all the. I'm like, dude, it's like, stop trying to pull on everybody's heartstrings and try to whatever. Like I said this the original time as well, and it's so true. They make the Super Bowl for everybody that doesn't watch football. Like, all I want to see is football. All I want to see is the game. I don't want to see anything else. I just don't want to see anything else. Like the big production at halftime, the big production at the beginning of the game, big production at the end of the game, all that stuff. Like, I don't want to be like I said, they've actually fooled everybody into really actually being into the commercials at the Super Bowl. And like, the commercials, their ads, they drive us nuts. Like, we hate them. Do we forget that? Are we all insane?
You're not insane.
Anyway.
You're not insane, my friend.
Oh, it just drives me nuts, man. And clearly I'm passionate about it. But the NFL in general, stop messing up your product. Just football. That's what you do. And I don't know. Maybe I'm in a minority here, but like, I'm so tired of the Super Bowl in general. Like, the game is great, but like the rest of it. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm like heated now. So
I can tell.
Dude, after the last podcast, I'm sorry. So we're done with the football stuff. But anyway, since the last podcast, like right after the last podcast, I think I contracted the plague. So I have been suffering from that all week.
Yeah, you sound like a mouthful of dicks.
Well, that's what I mean, I can't say that I feel like that because I'm not thankful. I'm not really sure what that feels like.
I'm not even sure what it means, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I pretty much sound like I don't know, like crap.
A mouthful of dicks.
Okay. All right. So sure. Anyway, so now our extended long intro. I'm sorry, we didn't. I didn't mean to talk about football at all. But anyway, now that I'm off my high horse here. Oh no, I'm about to get back on it because our first topic that we're going to talk about.
No, you're not going to get back on it because we're going to give out the way to contact us.
All right.
Which is at twitter.com, facebook.com, youtube.com.
I never got down.
/RetroGameFix. Otherwise, questions at RetroGameFix.com or 678-995-5103 is the voicemail. And I just didn't want you to smash on, smash apart our contact information. But speaking of smashing, well,
that was brilliant.
Speaking of smashing things, Mitch.
Yes.
Something came up in my Twitter feed this week, and then I actually saw an article written about this. There's people smashing arcade machines.
Yeah, what is do you know any background on this guy? Like,
go
ahead. I'm sorry. Explain the situation.
So anyway, there's a Twitter channel or a YouTube channel, sorry, called What's Inside or something like that. It's got 3 or 4 million subscribers. Where essentially this guy just breaks shit apart. He's like, here's what's in it, and like that's that. And it usually goes over pretty well, considering he's got 4 million subscribers. And I guess it depends on what's being smashed. I'm sure that somebody gets pissed off.
Yeah.
And this week, or within the last couple weeks, he smashed a Ms. Pacman machine.
Oh, it was a Pacman machine, actually.
Yeah.
Regular Pacman.
Oh, it was a regular Pacman.
Yep.
Oh, I thought it was a Ms. Pacman. And the entire, retro gaming and collecting community got up in arms about it. And fair enough, right? I enjoy some retro stuff and outside of games. Cars are one of those things. Like if somebody blew up an old Mustang or Corvette, I'd probably be pissed about it. If somebody smashed an old guitar, no, I wouldn't actually be pissed about that. But anyway, the retro gaming community, it can't. Maybe I'm going to get a little bit ahead of our conversation here, but tends to get up their own ass a little bit about stuff. And I can see both sides of this one, but I just wasn't as appalled as everybody else was on the internet.
Well,
but you're gonna be, but I know you're gonna have a better take on both sides of this conversation, having built, repaired, restored these machines many times. So,
well, I will say this: when you kind of brought it up earlier, I was kind of like, meh, whatever, I don't care, because I thought you meant that he took off the back of the thing and like ripped out a Pac-Man board and destroyed that.
Oh no, he destroyed the shit out of it.
Yeah, he took like a sawzall and like sawed off the like half of it. Like he totally destroyed the shit out of the thing. So yeah, okay, my opinion has changed at this point. And like I said, if you noticed, I have not gotten off my high horse yet. I'm not sure how to get down, to be honest. But anyway, yeah, I think it's kind of just stupid. I mean, I don't know if I'm appalled. I don't know. I have mixed feelings on this, I don't even know if they're mixed feelings. I have maybe direct feelings about this. I feel like it's so stupid. Like, what is he doing? Like, first of all, like, why wouldn't you just open the back of the fucking thing and be like, here's a monitor and here's the board or something like that? Why would you have to saw the whole fucking side off? I mean, I understand the shock factor and stuff, and I guess that's probably why he has 4 million viewers or whatever. But I don't know. I kind of got a kick. I did get a kick out of. I don't know. I mean, separate from like the actual act of destroying this Pac-Man, I feel like the guy just sounded like an idiot. I mean, this is maybe me just being like Bill the company computer guy or something like that. But I'm like, he called the monitor a TV, which is understandable, and then he called the control panel a keyboard, which I thought were. I was totally like nerdily snickering in the background, like, what a dumbass. But the actual like act of what he did, I mean, I guess it's his thing, so he can do whatever the fuck he wants with it. I've got kind of, I don't know, like let me roll with this for a minute. So it's his, so I understand he can do whatever the fuck he wants with it. I don't care. I mean, it's not like I would have bought it even if he would have offered it to me. I have enough Pac-Man and Miss Pac-Mans. I've got one of each. That's enough. But I do understand the scarcity of these things nowadays. And look, if it were a piece of shit, like just a cabinet alone, and it were like empty and bare, if you painted it pink and like, I don't know, painted a dick on the side of it or something like that, go for it. I don't care. But like, it does kind of suck that this thing was like fully working and functioning. And the only reason that sucks is I'll give you a little perspective on this. Maybe 2009-ish or 8-ish or something. I remember talking to one of my friends at a auction where there were billions of these things, and they were going for like $10. Well, they're never going to run out of Pac-Man or Miss Pac-Man machines and stuff like that. But guess what? We have. Everybody's multi-cated them, which I don't care. I don't know. I guess I don't care, except for the fact is that somehow Pac-Man and Miss Pac-Man are rare at this point. I mean, not rare, but like they're way hard to find. And I guess I don't care because I own one of each. And I guess if they're becoming more and more scarce, that makes mine more valuable, I guess. But I mean, I don't really care about the value on it. But I don't know. I just thought it was like stupid. It was dumb. I mean, is it his to do whatever he wants with? Sure. Can he call the control panel a keyboard? I guess. But I just thought it was stupid. I don't know. What were your thoughts?
I agree that it's stupid, but the like I said, kind of going into this thing, almost everything on YouTube is stupid, and everybody trying to find an angle, right?
Yeah, well, that's exactly what he was trying to do.
And he did find an angle, and he got a ton of hits and a ton of views, and he outraged the gaming community. Yeah. And is it shitty that there is now a Pacman that is not available and destroyed?
Well, I mean, ultimately, yeah, I guess.
I mean, kind of. I don't know. I mean, look, there's plenty of these cabinets around. There's plenty of the boards. I don't know. I mean, I understand everything you're saying. I'm just not that. I mean, I get it. It's dumb and stupid, but I just saw it and went, okay. That guy destroyed a Pacman. Like, I'm just not willing to get up and sit here and go like, oh my God, the life of this guy. To like, if people weren't watching it and the money wasn't there and he wasn't going to make money on the YouTube video, that wouldn't have ever happened or wouldn't exist. But we live in this like, watch me do something stupid world of everything, and I think that's actually like.
Yeah, it was like that.
Like
that show Jackass that used to be on. You know, that's what it kind of reminded me of.
Right, which I think is like the more disappointing part of it, but like one Pac-Man out of a bajillion Pac-Mans.
To be honest, I'm not even worried about that. Like, I don't care. I mean, look, you know, I always say this to all my people too. Like, when I sell something, you can start it on fire for all I care. I don't give a shit. It's not mine anymore. I got what I wanted for it. In this case, I really don't care. I just thought he was stupid. I mean, I just thought it was like people are clicking on it because he's a jackass.
And he is. He's a huge jackass. I don't think that can be argued.
And I don't think it's... I mean, he tried to create like a shock value. And yeah, it was a little shocking, but I found... I'll be honest with you, when I was watching it, I was like, oh shit. Please, like when he sawed the side off, the first thing I thought was, please let that monitor fall on the ground face first, because those things, like literally, they say on the back of them that they're designed to implode because there's no air in them, and then they will explode after they implode. So I was totally just I was like, please let that monitor fall out on the ground. So I guess you know, shock value. How am I any better than him? But I gotta say I would have derived joy from that. Like, I totally would have.
My whole thing is I don't see the I don't understand how this fucking guy has 4 million followers.
Yeah, kidding, dude.
And it's like this time it's a Miss Pac-Man or a Pac-Man, and you know, we're yes, I know, I think people that listen to the show like feel like we should probably be a little more outraged about this, but I'm more outraged about the fact that this jackass is getting subscribers and watches by doing things like this.
Oh yeah, well my daughter wanted the keyboard on this thing, so I can't get over that. I'm sorry. Like, actually, that's my biggest problem with the entire thing. I'm like outraged that he called the control panel a keyboard, and I know that's super nerdy and stuff like that. And I'm also outraged that, like, when his son tried to pick up the monitor, he didn't drop it on the ground and it didn't explode and maim the both. But like, okay, all right. I guess I'm on a different level here.
The funniest, but you're right in line with one of the funniest comments in the YouTube channel comments was someone posted, why don't you do a what's inside with your son?
Don't make me laugh. I can't.
And I was like, that might be the YouTube comment of the year.
Oh, give me a sec here. I'm sorry.
So that was pretty good. I was like, fuck.
I have to not laugh at things.
So let me put it this way: like, fuck that guy. Like, I don't want to sit here and act like I'm like, hey, let's all go out and destroy Pac-Mans. That's not at all what I'm saying. Like, I'm just like, I guess maybe I'm just desensitized to it, and it's whoever, you know, whatever the thing is, somebody's going to be offended, and I'm just not willing to like be offended by it. Because, and maybe, I don't know why, but I'm just like, the more offensive part is like, this guy's just a huge jackass breaking things on the internet, and like, he hasn't killed himself yet, which is disappointing. Because when that video goes up, when he Steve Irwin's himself, give me a call.
Oh, damn, dude, that was dark. But I will say this. I will click the thumbs up. No, I mean, seriously, I've told you my true thoughts. So, yes, I am a piece of shit. I am no better than this guy. But, yeah, I don't know. I'm just like, my thought was just, what a dumbass. That's pathetic, Like, it's pathetic, but people check it out. And I guess he's got probably a billion hits from all these people that are bitching about it, And then we've probably driven a billion hits to him as well. So
well, maybe whatever. And hey, what? It worked for him. Yeah, I mean,
encourage him to do it more. I guess
I get the angle, and I think that's what pisses me off more. Is there one less Pacman around? Yeah, there is. And there's probably a jackass that just bought a Ferrari Enzo the other day and wrecked it trying to show off to his porn star girlfriend.
Well, they still make those though.
Well, no, they don't.
Oh, they don't. Okay, well, I'd see. See, I don't know anything about cars.
But I'm just saying, like, there's always, it is what it is.
Good analogy is what I meant to say.
But is he a jackass? Yeah, he's a huge jackass. I think that's probably what offends us all. But I'm not gonna get there and like be like. Maybe I'm just getting. It's funny because I thought about this. Like, the older I get, like. Most people go, the older I get, the more curmudgeoned I get. And I'm like, the older I get, like, the less I care about other people and what what they're doing unless it directly impacts me. And like,
you mean as far as like celebrities and all that crap, kind of stuff?
Well, yeah. And just like YouTube and like one less Pacman being available. I'm just like, all right. I
do think that they should be preserved at some point. Yes, we are the Pac-Man cabinet is going to be extinct at some point, and it's a shame, and I do feel like it's a functional work of art. So those are my true feelings on this situation. And again, excuse my plague that I'm still battling here, but I do feel like arcades and pinballs in general, I truly do feel like, look, they are functional works of art. I do feel like mass-produced functional works of art.
I also agree with you on that.
So yeah, it does. It's kind of sad to see something like that, but ultimately, there were a billion of them produced, and I guess I've seen worse fates than that by some of the shit that I've come by in like warehouses and stuff like that. So I mean, at least it served a purpose. It's not like it was alive. I mean, yeah, it's like, I don't know. I mean, I guess those are my true thoughts on the actual act of destroying a Pac-Man. Yes, it's unfortunate. Yeah. Am I outraged about it? No. I just thought it was dumb and pathetic. More power to the guy, I guess. He's gonna keep. We've probably just sent more traffic to him. So be it.
It is what it is. The traffic will get there anyway. I mean, that's one of those things too, and it's just like, that's probably why I did it, and maybe we're hypocritical in even talking about it, but like, that's the internet. I mean,
it won't be the first time.
No, but but that's the interwebs. I mean, we sit here and throw our, hey, you want to go destroy something on the internet, and that's what he did. And we have a podcast. We sit here and talk about stuff, and I'm not.
Oh yeah, some of the shit that we've talked about on this podcast. So like, I'm not above trolling. I'm just like, my point is, like, in the grand perspective, like, I think he kept some of the boards, and it didn't look like he destroyed absolutely everything. And so, like, maybe a cabinet is gone, but like, if you really want, those cabs aren't that hard to find. But yes, it was working. It could have been in someone's house that they would have liked it. Well, they're harder to find nowadays, but whatever. But it was his.
Certainly. But, there's a lot of...
it doesn't make a difference to me if it's in his house or if it's in his dumpster at this point. I don't care, because I wouldn't have been aware of it one way or another if it weren't for this video. Yeah. People do shit like that to Pac-Man cabinets all the time.
Well, speaking of people that do shit... Well, let's...
Did he... What's that? Well, real quick. So did that have anything to do? We didn't mention, I guess, what was it, last week or the week before, that the creator of Pac-Man had died? Did he do that in honor of him or something?
No. It wasn't the creator of Pac-Man or the developer of Pac-Man that died. It was the founder of NAMCO video games, and I'm going to butcher this because I'm a dumb American here. It's Masaya Nakamura. He was 91, founder of NAMCO, and
And I knew that, by the way.
Yeah, and everybody that gets all up in arms about he's the father of Pac-Man, like he ran the fucking company, created the company that spit that game out. So, and they nicknamed him that. So the father met Pac-Man. Namco. Actually, I just want to say all Namco games. To be honest with you, man, Namco's had a hell of a fucking run, and you look at that and you go, Namco is a big part of retro games and even gaming today. If you really think about it, Galaga, Dig Dug, Pac-Man, Galaxian. I mean, come on,
those are all okay. No, I'm just kidding.
So
amazing.
I mean, and we're kind of getting to that point where I think we're going to start to see see some of these leaders of these companies that we grew up playing the games, and we're going to start seeing these leaders die, unfortunately. So,
well, I mean, the guy was like 91, so eventually everybody dies, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, Pac-Man Smash is what we had on our list, but it was worth talking about. I mean, we do have opinions on it, and like I said, I think as far as my opinion goes, it doesn't matter in the big run, in the big scheme of things, because I honestly, those were my true thoughts. So anyway.
Right on. So anyway, speaking of like the life of things, like Pac-Mans and arcade machines, there is a certain thing going around called the Circle of Life. And it is a GameStop strategy.
I was thinking of the Hakuna Matata or something like that. I thought you were going to go Lion King on me or something.
It is very Lion King-like in a lot of ways. That I do not have a metaphor to even back up. But anyway, so the news came out that GameStop, and everybody's talking about this. So let's jump on the bandwagon and talk about it too, because it's a hip thing to do.
Well, you're like GameStop, like you're in GameStop all the time.
I'm a GameStop,
go ahead.
I'm a GameStop guy, but you've
had some situations lately that you've brought up on the podcast as well that actually fit this pretty well.
Well, I've had a lot of situations, and some of them are actually playing out now where I actually kind of feel like a dick. And then others I feel like I should have been more of a dick. But essentially, so GameStop has this Circle of Life program, and so it's come down from strategic management that there should be a 75% conversion rate, and this is a story by Kotaku, by the way. Like essentially a 75% conversion rate on pre-owned games, pre-orders, or merch sales in relation to new sales. And if you don't hit that attachment rate for those items, in this article, essentially people are losing their jobs, or their jobs are threatened, or they're put on kind of performance improvement plans, etc. And I remember a conversation I had a few months ago, and I ranted about this, where employees were saying, like, I was asking them about, the way they push their games and things like that, because I thought they were being very rude to me when they asked me about, you're just a collector. If you remember that conversation. And it kind of got heated to the point, and they were like, yo, management tells us to sell stuff this way. And I was kind of like, I cannot actually believe that, because if I was management, like, I thought there was some sort of incentive program in place where employees were doing this on their own. And as a manager,
or they're just being like the super awesome employee or something like that.
Right. And I was like, I would fucking fire these employees. The problem is, it turns out that there is actually a program in place, and employees are acting just as I would expect employees to act, and saving their own fucking job.
Right.
And and now I'm starting to connect the dots about the guy that's like, you need to get our insurance program. What about the pre-orders? Hey, do you want this, this fucking keychain? Hey, maybe you want this guidebook every time I go in to buy a new game. Or even used games, for that example. And man, this is disgusting. Like, I mean, essentially they've made it to the point that they need to make sure that every other piece of merchandise that they sell is hitting a 75% or essentially a 75% saturation point in compared to new game sales or new product sales, and they're punishing employees that don't hit that mark, to the point that employees are starting to tell customers that we don't have that system in stock. We don't have that new game in stock, but we have a used version. God, that's fucked up.
That is messed up. Like, corporate, what are you thinking? It just goes to show, God, and again, I can't get off my high horse today, but corporate, like, is so out of touch with their customers. They're more like, how are we going to make profits? How are we going to make profits? And look, that's probably what you should be doing. But like, there's a way of going about it. This is why I don't go to Best Buy anymore. Like, this is literally exactly, when crap like this happens, when people keep bugging me and bugging me and bugging me, and look, I don't care if it's corporate telling them to do this or they'll lose their jobs or whatever. I'm going to vote with my wallet and not go there anymore. Like, you can't just irritate the crap out of your customers until you alienate them all. Like, it's a bad strategy. It's just dumb. Plus, you have unhappy, like, look, really, you're going to put your employee on you should be happy that they even want to work for you, first of all. Like, I'm sorry. Anyway, it's just the wrong way to go about this.
It's kind of just like praying up. Like, if I was a teenage kid that liked to play video games, and we didn't have the same opportunities because it wasn't such a huge industry when we were growing up, but I would have been like, oh shit, I can go get paid to, like, be around games. And yeah, I was like, fucking sign me up. Me too. But nowadays, like, that's like, come on now. Like, this is such bullshit. You're hiring these, these people, and I wouldn't say they're all kids, but you're hiring these people at lower wages, and then it just bothers me. I mean, this is the kind of shit that I feel bad for Game Informer magazine that's owned by the same company, but they kind of handcuff, GameStop and Game Informer together. Like, this story, I'm done with GameStop, and I'm a dick when I go in, and I'm not sitting here trying to say, look, I'm a dick, look at how great of a cool guy I am, because I can be an asshole, but I say it in a way that when I go in to buy something at any store, for that matter, I pretty much game face it. And I'm like, I'm here for this. And if they're like, hey, do you want this? I'm just like, no. And I'm not really mean. I'm just like, no, thanks. Not interested. Very direct. And I'm the same way at GameStop. But this kind of story, if that's really how they're treating their employees, like, this is the kind of thing that does actually bother me, to the point that I'm like, I'm not cool. I'm not cool with that, and I'm not going to spend any more money there. So,
well, I mean, here's the reality of the situation as well, and I don't know who's touched on what as far as this goes, but that's retail. I mean, of course that's retail. What corporates. That's retail, and of course that's what they're doing. And look, I'm not. Don't get me wrong here, because I don't really know how to present this without. I'm not taking any sides or anything like that, but I'm saying, like, you could just go order it on Amazon. So, you know what?
Who has also been accused of treating their employees like shit.
Yeah.
I mean, in fairness.
It's true, but no, in fairness, but that's not necessarily where I was going with that. Sorry. Again, I have the plague. So with them coming up with stuff like this to just basically harass their employees, I mean, look, of course you're not making as many profits as you used to. The internet has been a thing. The internet is a thing now, in case you haven't heard. But, by harassing your customers, like having your employees harass your customers, and look, I know, I get it. I got it with Best Buy when I just started boycotting them, like in 2000. I mean, it's been 17 years now, but I get it, because I worked for them for like a year in like 1999 or something, and I get it from the employee standpoint. I'm not mad at you. I'm mad at the company, the people that are actually making money at your company. And what they're doing is they're digging themselves a deeper hole, because if they piss me off, I'm just going to not go there anymore and just buy it off of Amazon. You're going to perpetuate the problem by creating this.
Do you think, let me throw this question at you. And So this GameStop started out essentially in Minneapolis as FuncoLand. That was
really?
Yeah, that was its origin.
No,
yeah.
FuncoLand.
Yeah, FuncoLand. You don't remember FuncoLand?
No, I said I remember.
FuncoLand.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that the two were.
FuncoLand got bought and I don't know the parent company that bought them. You can figure it out on Wikipedia or something has a story, but FuncoLand got bought and essentially turned into FuncoLand partnered with something, I think, and then GameStop, and then Game Informer got involved, and it all became one company. But FuncoLand at the time didn't sell new video games, and I wonder, there's this weird conflict of interest that GameStop has, and I almost wonder they're trying to find a niche, or they're trying to find a way to not go out of business, right? Because eventually everybody's going to end up going to digital sales. Maybe not tomorrow, this year, next year, the following year, but within the next 10 years.
Eventually they're going to be made obsolete.
Eventually there's not going to be any more physical media as we've seen with CDs. We know we're going that direction. I don't know how GameStop stays relevant, but I feel like this isn't the right way.
Well, they've gotten into the retro market. I mean,
they've attempted to, and that's gone pear shape as well. But I want to say maybe they just stay in their lane and only do retro game or used games. But if they only do used games, then they're gonna not have stores for very much longer. But I think they're just
it's a Blockbuster situation.
They are in a Blockbuster situation, and I don't know. I just don't know if this is the right way to like alienating your employees.
It seems desperate.
Is not the right way to do it, and like I don't know, it's kind of a dick move, but it's a little different from Best Buy in the fact that GameStop is such a niche market where Best Buy at least is appliances and electronics and TVs and this and that, and certainly they've probably treated their employees like shit as well, but like GameStop, you're just getting kids coming in that want to work their video games, and then you're like, hey, you need to meet this margin and this and this attach rate, and it's like, yo, man, these are fucking like 15, 16, 17-year-olds. Like,
right.
Come on, man. Like, no, that's bullshit. So,
but it's not only that, like I said, you're alienating your customer. You're making me not want to go into GameStop, Like, I don't want to be harassed about this or that. If I say no means no. And look, I've been in those meetings before. I mean, God, I haven't worked in retail in 17 years probably, but like, I'm sorry. Again, you're alienating your customer. Yeah, apparently. But you're alienating your customers as far as that goes, and you're pushing away the people that you're trying to grab money from. And like, again, when I say no means no. And the worst part is, again, I've been in these meetings before, like years and years ago, but it's patronizing. Like, they're like, well, right. you're really doing the customer a great thing by suggesting this, because maybe they walk out and they're like, oh, I forgot batteries, or I forgot this, or I forgot that, or something like that. Like, that's true in maybe like some of the situations, but people aren't complete stupid idiots. Like, look, you're going to size up the situation if you are a medium competent person. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to be able to figure that out. You're going to, there's a fine line between forcing these things and actually like, actually like finding a solution to an actual problem. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you. No, I'm with you 100. I'm with you 100%. But yeah, it didn't surprise me, but that story connected a lot of dots for me. There is literally the one guy that works at GameStop that can,
Yeah. Totally.
I'm not gonna cuss, but.
We already have about 15,000.
No, I know. Already. I'm just trying to stop telling people to fuck off. But that guy can fuck off.
There are the certain people that are in those meetings that are like, yeah, that's a great idea, and blah blah blah, and those are the people that
if I suck enough dicks, I can be one of these assholes too. Like, no, fuck you.
Yeah, totally.
Anyway, so there's that. So anyway, let's get off. Actually, if we're gonna be, this is maybe, you know what? I'm gonna keep riding this train since you're on. You're usually a little more positive than I am. I'm gonna keep riding this negative train. Let's segue. Let's segue into Framemeisters and upscaling and this new thing that is trying to. I'm gonna spend $1 billion to make my old video games look good on my fucking LED TV. Mm-hmm. Can we go there?
Yeah, I think I don't think it's a super long conversation, but I think yeah.
I don't think so either because we've went this way before. But I want to rehash it. I want to rehash something. So the Framemeister essentially is like the go-to upscaler for retro games, right? It'll take 280p or 240p, 240i, 480p,
Supposedly
480i, yada da 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 da. It's like $300, and it lets you do crazy things like horizontal lines, vertical lines, fake scan lines, all this crazy shit. Mm-hmm. And it was really it's a 1080p upscaler, right? And so I've seen a lot of people spend a lot of money, and that's this RGB. I want RGB mods. Composite video sucks, NTSC sucks. Da da da. I get all of that. So there's one weird part about this that cracks me up. And I want to get back into the retro stuff first, but I want to point out this huge hypocrisy because a lot of these people that I hear discussing about how video resolution and color saturation and HDR, none of this shit fucking matters. Just make great games. Just make great fucking games, Mitch.
Yeah.
And these same people come out and tell me, I got a Framemeister. It makes my retro games look so good. I got a Framemeister. Look at how sharp the colors are. I got a Framemeister. Look at this RBG mod that I did in addition. I got these SCART cables. Look at my fucking Mario Brothers. And then in another segment, they're like, I'm not a fan of 4K. I don't care about HDR. Like, yo, you are in a position where you're essentially like, I understand if you want your retro games to look as good as possible. I get it. But then don't shit on the people that want their current modern games to look as good as possible. Please. Just don't fucking do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that just
it's like the cool kids club.
Well, and that's what retro gaming's turned into, right? Well, I've got more money. I can spend $300 on this fucking Framemeister to get fake scan lines. Like, and let me tell you something, Mitch. It's a 1080p upscaler. I'm going to tell you a little secret about what's going on in 2016, 2017. There's this new thing called 4K TVs. As a matter of fact, you can't even fucking buy a TV that's not 4K at this point.
Yeah.
Almost. Let me tell you what these 4K TVs do. They take every freaking signal and upscale it. Right? So if you put a Framemeister that sends a 1080p signal into your TV, and the Framemeister does a real good job at limiting lag, but it's still 1 to 2 frames lag. Then you send it in your TV. That also needs to do some upscaling. That's going to introduce some lag. These 4K TVs these days upscale or stretch pictures so well because there's 4 million pixels on these goddamn things that I could not tell and still cannot tell the difference between a Framemeister on my TV and just plugging the console in directly, other than the fact that the Framemeister into a 4K TV actually adds more lag. I'm not because the Framemeister has to upscale and then the TV needs to upscale. Just plug it into the fucking TV. I just don't understand this. I don't understand it, Mitch. And not to mention, I don't even game on my.
I understand it less.
And I don't game on my LED because I have a CRT that I use. So I don't know.
The $10 Goodwill special.
Feel where I'm coming from?
I hear you, man. I feel where you're coming from. I don't really have any input on the particular. I don't know. It does seem like a cool kids item. Like, all these cool kids paid $300 for this Framemeister, so I'm gonna buy one when I have $300, and then I'm gonna convince myself that I made a good purchase. That's cool. I mean, I don't care. You can buy whatever you want. Look, I've spent a lot of freaking money this year on video games and stuff, and I can't say anything against that.
I'm not going to tell people not to do it. Not at all. I've $3,000 worth of headphone equipment sitting to my left right now. Right. I'm not going to.
I spent $13,000 on pinballs this year.
Right.
That actually, I just figured that out the other day.
So I'm not going to sit here and tell people where to spend their money. But what I am saying is, it bothers me when, in one segment, people are going to talk about fidelity in modern gaming doesn't matter, and then talk about how their fidelity and all of this ridiculous money they're spending on retro gaming matters, when they could actually solve their problem a hell of a lot easier if they would just reallocate that $300 to a 4K. Like, the 4K TV that I'm talking about, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that bothers me. Like, don't be that cool kid hypocrite when you could solve your problem for cheaper and better. Right? Fuck God, that bothers me. No, it just bothers me, and I'm
old school.
Yeah. Sorry.
I mean, I just am old.
CRT or die.
Yeah. Well, yes, and I'm totally old school, and that's just my view on this. But from an old school perspective, I feel like Framemeister is the epitome of overthinking it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like the dude that like waxes his car like twice a week or something like that. You're overthinking it. You don't need to wax your car twice a week. It looks just as good if you wax it once every other week or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it seems like it's just, I've got this thing that I feel like it almost seems like and I guess I don't know. I'm probably going to offend some people by saying this, but it's this old school perspective. I'm ignorant on this. I don't know. Maybe you can school us. I think you're exactly on point, because it's just, I get the geek part of it. Like, if I can upscale through this, and then I can RGB mod this, and then I can get these SCART cables for this, and blah, 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 blah. And then, like, at the end of the day, again, I just want to drive back to my main point, is always these sites go, well, is HDR and 4K going to make me enjoy the game better? No. It's like, well, yeah, actually it does, but you're going to sit here and be like, just make better games. But when it comes to the retro stuff, it's like, well, of course it's going to make me enjoy better, and I can get RGB and blah. It's like, shut the fuck up. Just plug it into your TV and play the goddamn game. Right? It just fucking irritates me. Yeah. I don't understand. I don't even pretend to understand it. But again, I don't know. I'll take your word for it, because I really don't have a great perspective on it. But it does, just from my point of view, just seem like, throwing money at something that really just doesn't need money thrown at it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're trying to make your LED TV look like a CRT TV. Just buy a CRT TV from Goodwill for $10.
Yeah.
I don't know, but.
Yeah, that's part of it. I'll just add this before we move on. I think the other part is, like, with 1080p TVs and LCDs, it was kind of necessary, right? Like, the Framemeister was probably an okay purchase with a 1080p TV, because it did do upscaling for you that a lot of TVs didn't do. But when you're talking about essentially stretching a 4:3 image across a 4K TV with the pixel density that they have, these TVs these days have enough processing power if the 4K TV you have, does have upscaling. And if it doesn't, the pixel density is such that you're not going to see the dithering and the jagged edges in the lossless image. And so, unless you are looking at this thing going, I need to upscale to my 1080p TV and spend the $300, and I said this on Twitter over and over again, save the money, buy a better TV. End of story. And that's all that's all I want to say about it. And I just wanted to point out the hypocrisy, because I continue to hear, graphics and fidelity doesn't matter. And it's like, well, it does. It just, it just depends on what your hobby of choice is. And for me, I want my stuff to look as good as it can. And saying that, I don't have a Framemeister anymore because plugging my consoles in via composite to my 4K TV looks better than the Framemeister. And people can say, well, you don't have composite on your TV. I do have composite on my TV because unlike what most people don't understand is your component cables, depending on your TV, you can plug in the yellow composite cable into one of the components, either the red, green, or blue, and get composite on your LED TV. Now, if you don't have component, then you're a little bit shit out of luck. There's also converters you can use to get it through HDMI. It's mind-boggling to me. Everybody's so late to the party. It's 2017, and there's so many more modern ways to get good-looking pictures, or even non-modern ways. I'm just sick of hearing about it. If I have to hear the word Framemeister again, my God. Sorry.
Well, it's probably going to be in the show notes, so don't say it out loud.
I'm not going to say it out loud.
Don't say it 3 times. Don't say it 3 times fast while looking into a mirror.
Yeah, otherwise,
you'll turn into a douche or something. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah,
I don't really believe that. But anyway, well, let me segue real quick. So I had a little bit of a story. No, I don't have any man-sized predicaments this week. I kind of alluded to the fact that.
Whoa! You don't?
Yeah.
Can I play it? Can I play it anyway?
Yeah, and maybe I'll try to remember what my man-sized predicament was.
Well, what's your man-sized predicament about jumping on the Nintendo Switch?
Maybe.
I'm gonna play it now anyway. Boom.
All right.
Oh. God damn it. And then it didn't work. Hold on. I'm doing that again, Mitch. Here we go.
Let me tell you my story. I got a man-sized predicament. And it's a big one. Goes like this. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I don't really have a man-sized predicament. But I will tell you this, and I will make this very, very quick. You sent me the Super Bowl commercial for the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
I might kind of want one. Yeah. I got a month to think about this, right?
Well, you don't have a month because you can't find them anymore.
No, I know. You've got 3 pre-orders. You said I could buy one of them from you.
I had 3 pre-orders. I have 2 pre-orders now.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes it easy. I can wait.
Well, no. You can have the other one, but the here's the problem. Now you do have a man-sized predicament. So I canceled the Walmart one because they took my money out, and I'm gonna.
No way, really?
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you. Here's why I canceled it. They took the money out, and so Carrie and I are gonna have quite the summer of live events. So we've got Guns N' Roses coming up, and this is funny because I spent how much money to go see Motley Crue last year? Big rock fan. So I got John Mayer tickets. I'm a John Mayer fan. You're gonna laugh at me, but you know this about me. I got Sebastian Maniscalco comedy tickets. Hilarious. But I was running out of ideas to do with Carrie for Valentine's Day, and I'm also a Bruno Mars fan. He's coming in August.
Ooh, now that's the one I would laugh at you about.
Oh, he's so good. So good. Anyway. I
died.
I may have spent $450 through a secondhand market on some Bruno Mars tickets.
Oh, I died again.
And so I canceled the Walmart order to get the refund. Now, that said, I have another Nintendo Switch for you, my friend. But it's the neon controller version. Because I ordered a gray one and the neon controller version. And the neon controller version one looks awesome because it's the neon red and the neon blue until you realize it's kind of a political console. And I don't want a Democrat and Republican console.
That doesn't bother me. I wouldn't even have thought of that. I think of player 1 and player 2 as being red and blue, like back in the old school day with
Double Dragon.
Nintendo. Remember? Yeah, Double Dragon,
Great
Contra.
game.
No, it's not. But look back in any like Ikari Warriors, and you got your red guy who's like first player. You got your blue guy who's second player. That's the way it always is. Anyway, that wouldn't bother me.
Oh, all right. Well, then I got a Nintendo Switch for you, and you should probably buy it.
Well, it's a man-sized predicament. I don't know why it's a man-sized predicament, but
well, let's talk about that though. So you watched the commercial, man. What? So it turned into a man-sized predicament. I think then you watched it, and you're like, how much is it again? Like, what was it about?
Like $2.99.
What was it about that commercial that set you off? Because it's weird. Because there's a ton of Nintendo people that didn't. I think there's two things. There's a ton of Nintendo people that didn't buy the Wii U. Yeah. Obviously. And then there's a lot of people seeing these new commercials, and whether people want to admit it or not, this new Nintendo console has a little bit more of a grown-up feel to it, and I think it's working, man.
Yeah, it does look awesome. I don't know. I may wait. I really don't know yet. I've got a little bit of time to think about it, I guess, right?
Well, you have until like March 3rd.
Give me a deadline.
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna like just hold on to a $300 console. I mean, like a week.
Oh no!
Like,
I mean, give me my deadline. Tell me what my deadline is.
Well, the launch date, like I will have those two from Best Buy on March 3rd. So I'd say like March 7th.
Okay. Well, how about we say like it's still in February, like February 28th.
Oh, okay. I was gonna give you a little bit of time to get a podcast under our belt where I'm telling you how great this thing is. But I'd rather give you a deadline where I can actually get it in your hands sooner. But whatever. Yeah. All right.
I'll have to think about this because that actually I can segue into my next thing. By the way, that it does look awesome. I agree
it looks
with
so
you.
good. It looks so good.
But the problem is, I'm like, I'm gonna have to spend $60 on a game too, right? So that's gonna be $360.
It is, but you're always gonna have to spend. You're always gonna have to spend the money on games, right? You want Zelda.
That's my thought.
You want Zelda.
I know. The Zelda's all I need as far as that goes. It really is, and the Zelda was what put me over the edge.
Right, but I was saying like you were like, I'm gonna buy a Wii U. And you could play Zelda on a Wii U, but I was telling you, like, save that money, get the Switch.
Yeah, you already convinced me on a prior podcast of that. So,
yeah.
But that kind of segues.
Think it over.
Oh, yeah, I will. That segues into what I was just about to talk about, which I'll make this kind of quick because I know it's getting late. But so I've been selling Nintendo Red Tent stuff, right? I talked about that in the previous podcast.
Yeah, you did. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, you mentioned it like real brief, either this last one or the one before, but yeah, you did mention it.
Okay, so yeah, I had a pile of I was obsessed with Nintendo Versus stuff, and Nintendo Versus were like the arcade equivalent of the NES. It was basically Nintendo cashing in on the success of the NES by putting some of these select games in the arcade. It was like a play choice, but it wasn't a play choice. So you had, so anyway, I've had a Nintendo Red Tent for years, which is a cocktail table of sorts, just a weird looking, it's red and it looks like a tent, the shape of a tent. So, anyway, so I was obsessed a couple of years ago with Nintendo Versus games, and I just like loaded up on them. And, it's great because now they're worth a fortune. And I was kind of like, I was like, well, I'm going to sell my Red Tent and all my games. And, I just want to make money to get this taxi, which is going to be on the 18th of February when I'm going to go up and actually officially get it. So I was like, I'll start selling some of my Nintendo Red Tent boards or my Nintendo Versus boards. I'm like, I probably have like $200 to $400 worth of games in there, right? So I now have well over enough money to buy the taxi. I've got like a ton of money. I probably have like, for that stuff, the boards alone, I probably have like $900 worth or maybe $1,000 that I've gotten off these boards so far. I just officially sold my Red Tent, and that's kind of a story in itself. Do I dare tell that, or are you running out of time? Do I say that for the next show?
Dude, I feel great. Like I was telling you, I got my CPAP machine, dog. I probably only need like 3 hours of sleep tonight with that thing.
I'm in. All right. So anyway, so there was a guy inquiring about my like on one of my eBay listings was like I had a like a Nintendo versus kit that had a awesome Mario topper in it that was in mint condition, and I was selling it with the ROMs for Super Mario Brothers and so on, and the PPU and CPU and so on. So anyways, the guy was like, "Hey, would you sell that topper by itself?" And I was like, "No, but I've got another one that I'll sell you." So I posted it on eBay, and for like $40, I was like, "I'll sell it to you for $40." So I posted it on eBay for local pickup only because I'm like, well, if anybody sees that, nobody's going to buy it, and except for this guy. So, I waited like a day and a half, maybe 2 days, and this guy did not buy it. So I was like, what is going on? Somebody snaps it up, doesn't realize that it's local pickup only. And again, I'm sure they knew that it was only local pickup only, but he's like, I have no problem paying for the shipping or whatever. And I was like, okay, fine. As long as you pay every dime of the shipping, I don't care. So I ended up selling it to this guy. The other guy contacts me like 20 minutes after this, of course, because he probably saw that it was no longer there. Is it still available? I'm like, dude, you had 2 days. I was like, I don't have any more of these. I'm not breaking up the other lot, but I have a red tent for sale. I'll sell it to you and I'm feeling super generous this day. Super generous. Anybody that knows what a Nintendo red tent is knows that what I'm selling here, look, one of my monitors was out on it. There's no high voltage. And I could have easily fixed it, but I just don't want to. I don't want to mess with it. So I was just like, look, man, with no games in it, with just the red tent, it's just the red tent and 2 monitors. I'll sell it to you for $250 if you come and get it out of my house like immediately. So, and I'm like feeling super generous. I was like, this guy's going to be so excited.
And sometimes you do that too, right? Because you're like, I want to get this out of my house, and I'm gonna throw this guy a great deal, and it's going to be out today.
Yeah. So, I'm like, all right, this guy's going to be excited. I don't hear back from him. I'm like, all right, whatever. I go to bed. I get an email back the next morning. He's like, will you take $200 for it? Which is okay. I'm like, no, I wouldn't take $200 for it. I'll take $250. And so then, to from eBay or whatever, I was just like, okay, I'll post it on Craigslist today because that's not eBay's sale. You know what I'm saying? I'm not paying an extra $22.50 for eBay when that's not their sale. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I'll post it on eBay today or on Craigslist today. I'll put my contact info on there. Let me know, So I get like 2 other people that contact me about this. One of them suspiciously, because it's posted on Craigslist for $550, because I was like, well, that's what I would have asked with a game or whatever. And if I wasn't feeling generous, I get an email or a text on my phone that's like, would you take $250? I'm like, this is suspicious. So I'm like, somebody goes right to $250. You know what I'm saying? And then I got another guy that was interested, that was a friend of a friend and so on. So I would have hooked him up. But anyway, long story short, this friend of a friend texts me a picture of like this Nintendo collector's website or something. And the guy posts the picture up there like the previous night. Guy's trying to sell this red tent for $250. Buy it or no? And I'm like, oh my God, what a dumbass. You know what I'm saying? The guy doesn't even know what.
This guy is talking about my red tent.
So, and it's a picture of my red tent, like clear as day. And it makes sense as to why this person immediately texted me, will you take $250 when it was listed for $550, which is bullshit. So anyway, there's 22 comments under this of people that are like, I'll pay twice that. You're crazy, like take it or don't take it and let me know where this guy is and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I know that this guy now knows, and he's like, what's HV, which is high voltage? Because I told him there's no HV in one of the monitors. And I'm like, oh my God, this guy's so screwed if he buys this thing. Long story short, I get another text from him. Hey man, since both of the monitors don't work, will you put since one of the monitors worked, but it's kind of a little wonky and the other monitor did not work. So he's like, hey, man, since both of the monitors need a little work, will you throw in a game? And I was like, no. I was like pissed at that point because I've been sick all week. I was like, no. I was like, I won't sell it for, I was like, $250. I was like, let me know if you don't want it, you know? So later on, he's like, I'll take it. So that like 3 more times, even when the guy was on his way here, hey man, I know we agreed on 250, but would you take 225? And I was like ready to just tell him like, can we play both? Can we play this both ways? Will you buy it for 275? Will you buy it for 575? I'm like, fucking A, leave me alone. I was like, no. I just texted him short, no, you know. And I'm just like, what a douche, man. I understand like trying to haggle and stuff like that, but when I tell you I'm not haggling, don't fucking try to haggle me. You know what I'm saying? Like it is my pet peeve. It is my biggest pet peeve, especially when I'm like firm on the price. You know, when I'm like 250 firm. Yeah. Which is I forgot to mention that fact. That's how I came out on that. Like, and then he asked me like 6 times total. Would you take less? Would you take less? No, dude. How about I was about to be like, hey, how about you come pick it up and I pay you $250 and see if he comes back and says, would you pay me $300? I'm like, Jesus, dude, fucking stop. What is wrong with you? Some people just, this just drives me crazy. So anyway, that's my long story. Long story short, he seemed like an okay guy. We popped it in the back of his truck, and I never want to hear about this Red 10 again. You know what I'm saying?
Some people just like, sometimes you're just trying to give someone a deal, and like sometimes people don't get that on Craigslist, and it's like, I've just gotten to the point where I just overprice everything now. I'm just like, I'm fucking overpricing everything.
I'm just on my listings normally on Craigslist. They'll just be like, firm on the price, won't take a dime less. I'm not going to respond if you ask me for less. You know what I'm saying? Because some stupid people will come in and like under half of what you're asking. It's like, are you crazy? Like the whole thing about this. I guess I'm a little butthurt about this because I'm just like, dude, I'm trying to give you a deal. And you treat me like an idiot. I feel like you're treating me like an idiot by thinking, wow, this guy doesn't know what the fuck he has. So maybe I can talk him down further and further and further. Dude, I know what I have. And he saw that when he came to my house. Dude, I have like 20 arcade machines and pinball machines. And I've had probably over 100 in the last 5 years. Like, you don't know what you're talking about. I know what I'm talking about. Just fucking pay me $250. If you want it, I was just going to be like, look, dude, I'm not trying to twist your arm here. If you don't want it, if you don't want to pay $250 for it, that's fine. I'll put it on Craigslist and sell it for twice, maybe not twice that, but I'll sell it for like $400. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You know what I'm going to start doing? When I'm going to do exactly what you do and list stuff for firm, but I'm going to start like anytime someone responds to me that's an offer less than firm, I'm going to send them a link to either 2 Girls in a Cup or Blue Waffles.
I don't even know what Blue Waffles is, but that's funny.
Google Blue Waffles.
I don't want to know.
Google Blue Waffles.
No, I won't.
Google Blue Waffles.
No, I'm not going to. Now I know you're going to text it to me at some point.
I'm not going to. No, it's so gross. I'm not even going to. No.
I don't even want to know. But yeah, you should. You totally should. But the thing on that is I'm always like, you know, I always have I've been starting just to get a little bit more elaborate because I'm like, you know, this is a take it or leave it price. It's firm. I was like, I will not take a dime less. And I swear to God, if you contact me and offer me half of what I'm asking, I will. I'd be so pissed. I mean, not like that, but you know what I'm saying, like in a more tactful way. But I'm just like, it's a take it or leave it price. If you can't handle paying this amount, please don't contact me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm like not trying to be a dick here, but it's just like, I understand. Look, I don't mind if I don't have firm up there. If I don't say firm, I don't mind. I'm open to people offering, but if I say firm and you keep hounding me about this, especially six times, fuck off. I should have just been like, it's not, dude. I'm not interested in the sale anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So anyway, I don't know. He seemed like an all right guy and stuff, so I'm not making a personal attack on him, really, I guess. But it was just like, maybe I guess I just did. But dude, settle down. And then it turns out one of my buddies was like, oh my God, I sold something to that guy like, 6 months ago, and he was the same way with me, and blah, blah, blah. It's like, dude, nobody likes you. So that was a personal attack right there. But yeah, I mean it. So anyway, all right. Rant over as far as that goes. Like I said, I guess I'm just grumpy today, like I said earlier. So that's it. That's all I have on my Red 10. But I will say this. I love the fact that this stuff...
I love this new Mitch of just like, I'm ranting.
You should just hope that I have the plague like every week, that it never goes away, right? But yeah, usually it's the other way around. This is totally like opposite week. You should call the title of the episode Opposite Week. Oh my God, why did you do that? I can't delete that off my thing.
Yeah, you can.
Oh, I got to be quiet. No, I can't. How do I do it?
I don't know. It's so gross.
It's going to be on my chat thing for like forever now.
Here. Hold on.
Sorry. Anyway. Oh, God damn it. By the way, do you want to tell them what you just did?
I don't know if I sent Mitch a picture of blue waffles.
I totally just got rid of it.
I think you can clear it out. Anyway.
Anywho, so that's the good.
The best part is you just never mind. It was great.
I'm glad you're happy. Anyway, so I'm trying not to laugh. I can't laugh. I'll start like a coughing fit again.
I got you. Well, we do have one more. We do have one more topic.
Mm-hmm. Go for it.
The Nintendo Switch has released their pricing for their online service.
Okay.
Are you still appalled by the blue waffles? You're like, I don't even know what we're talking about.
Oh, no. I wanted to laugh, but I'm like, I have to meditate or something because I'm like...
All right, so anyway...
I can't laugh, otherwise I'll have a coughing fit, and I won't be able to finish the podcast.
So anyway, Xbox One has Xbox Gold. $60 a year, 50 or something like that. I just pay it and don't pay attention. PlayStation, same thing. In both those services, you get a variety of free games each month, and then you can also play online games. Nintendo was going to offer an online service, and Nintendo once said they would never make people pay for online play. But with the release of the Nintendo Switch, they are going to make people pay to play games online. And that price is going to be $20 a year. And
That's not bad.
And so at $20, well, I don't think so either. And a lot of people are still upset about this, but here's what $20 a year is going to get you. $20 a year is going to let you play games online. It's going to give you an online service, and now chat and everything has to be done through your phone, which is weird because it's a phone app. Well, it's not built into the Switch right away. But I'm not sure why yet. The only thing I can think of is if you're on the go, if you have your Switch as a mobile, you're not going to be connected to the internet all the time. But then it's well, then I wouldn't be chatting anyway. So I'm not sure why they're doing that. But you do get one free game a month, but you don't get to keep the game. So on Xbox One and PlayStation, you get to keep the game as long as you're a member, and on Xbox, you actually just get to keep the game. But what Nintendo is doing is they're taking old games like the SNES and Nintendo and just different games, and they're actually implementing multiplayer support over the internet in the way of leaderboards and things like leaderboards and co-op and stuff like that. And I feel like for $20 a year, what is it, $1.30 a month? Something like that, $1.35 a month.
I have no idea.
That you're going to get a free game. That, yes, you're essentially getting it for free for 30 days. But for those 30 days, you're getting a classic NES game that's going to have online support that everybody with the service is going to have and be playing. Like, I don't know. I guess I don't think $20 a year is, like, appalling.
So is it required?
Well, it would be required, right? Well, no, it's not required. You don't have to have it. But, like, if I bought Splatoon and you bought Splatoon, you would have to get the service so we could play play each other online. But I don't feel like that's a bad... I guess, again, there's a lot of reasons I could get offended by $20 a year, but I guess I'm not going to get offended by the 2 extra value meals a year that Nintendo wants to charge me to give me 12 games a year for free, even though I have to give them back after 30 days, and let me play online games. I guess I'm just not that pissed about it.
No, $20 is easily palatable by anybody.
Yeah. So.
Oh, it's cool. I am pretty excited about the Switch now. So I think you may have planted that seed by sending me that video today, because I didn't see it during the Super Bowl. But yeah, now that I have all this extra cash, I'm like, yeah, should I?
Here's the thing, and I broke it down this way for a buddy at work. If you get it day one and you own it for 5 years, and now this is just the price of the console, because games, you buy games. People buy games, and that price varies. Just the price of the console over 5 years is 16 cents a day.
You sound like Sally Struthers, or not? Or who was that? Just for 16 cents a day.
Well, who's the new one? Yeah.
I don't know. I don't even watch TV for the most part, but for 16 cents a day, you can feed someone's video game addiction habit in Minnesota.
Well, that's how I always break it down, though, when I buy systems, and obviously that's done me terribly. Everything I buy, I break down on like, well, how long am I going to own it? And that's why I have, again.
That doesn't really help me.
Nah. All right. You should get it.
It's all good. Oh, well, I'll have to think about it now. I'll have to start that conversation internally.
I already pre-ordered one for you, Mitch.
That's what friends are for, right?
Start that.
So what would you do? Like, can you just transfer it if I decided to, or what?
Well, I could change the delivery probably. Otherwise, I would just like get it and just print out a new shipping label and not even open it.
Okay.
And just leave it packaged and be like, oh, here's this one. Just stamp a new shipping label on it and send it to you. I mean, then you'd have to pay for shipping, unfortunately, but
I'll have to think about it. So, anyway. But yeah, good stuff. I know my wife is pissed because of my rants here. She's been trying to sleep this entire time, so I've gotten a couple of... This is like in Mike's household here now, where I've been ranting this time, and now I've been told to shut up. So, it is probably time to wrap up the podcast. Would you agree?
Yeah, we can wrap it up. I'm sorry, man. Like I said, I got that new CPAP, and I'm like on cloud 9.
No, there's nothing. No, this is. I've just been unusually loud today because, I guess I'm crabby or something. So I've been going on rants this entire time. So she's like, "Your voice just got really loud for some reason." You're like Mike
Blue waffled me. Take a look at this.
Well, I get mad at that. I was trying not to laugh at that, so I didn't start coughing and become louder in that respect. So, but anyway, with the RetroGameFix.com Retro Jones podcast number 105, this is Mitch.
And this is Mike.
And we'll catch you next time.
See ya.